cartels are rife in Ireland.
I think one of the industries that certainly hasn't been tackled is the concrete industry.
I see that there's been complaints and going back to the 1990s in relation to the operation of price fixing and cartels within the concrete and quarry industry.
I want to turn my attention to CRH. They have been fined, I think it's 28 million by the Polish government, but they have brought down many a small business.
Part of promoting the interests of small and medium enterprise would also be about breaking up cartels like CRH.
Those anti-competitive practices have been seen in the concrete industry, for example, and they remain outside the oversight of the state. They remain unresolved and they remain unpunished.
There's a major case here for an inquiry into the ongoings and the development and the monopoly of CRH over the last 20 years and how they've carried out their business.
If anyone is wondering, was there ever a concrete cartel in this country, well, just take my word for it, there was one.
Ireland is a very small country. It consists of just over 4.5 million people, and everybody is interconnected. The establishment is very tight, and if you find yourself outside of the establishment in Ireland, it can be very, very difficult to establish your rights or achieve fairness or justice in business, which is the sort of path that my family and I ended up on. We have spent many decades in the cement, ready-mix concrete block aggregates business, and the business has over the decades become totally dominated by a firm called CRH PLC. The structure of the market and the behaviour of the market enabled this company to evict dozens upon dozens upon dozens of family businesses right throughout the decades, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s and the 2000s. It's going on to this day. CRH came to me and they sought to secretly acquire my business, and they were pressurising me in various markets, making me run up losses. I was getting into a very vulnerable position. In total they put me out of business on 4 different occasions. We were financially slaughtered. Some construction companies themselves have been found to be operating cartels. So in other words, they get a road job or some sort of an infrastructure job, and they collude with other construction companies to artificially increase the price. And the Irish company CRH PLC, which has mushroomed into the world's 2nd or 3rd largest construction materials company, it's a huge international conglomerate now, it was found to have played a lead role in setting up the European cement cartel. And the other companies, indeed, the other large companies like Holcim and Lafarge and Heidelberg have all had their own findings against them by cartel authorities, be it the German Federal Cartel Office, be it the European Commission or in other countries around the world. There's been many findings where this artificially increased price can be up to 30%. Now, it is the same in the construction materials sector. The present Trump administration has indicated that it intends to spend over $1 trillion on infrastructure in the US. Now, and many of the European companies that I've just mentioned are operating and major operators in the US market. For example, CRH PLC is the #1 in the US construction materials market. So if it goes unchecked, if nobody bothers to check what's going on and see are there in fact cartel practices taking place in the US, it could cost literally $300 billion. That's $300 billion that can be stolen from US citizens.
Attorney General Patrick Morrisey is suing 11 companies and says they have monopolized the asphalt paving business and driven up the state's costs for more than a decade.
For well over 15 years, the defendants and their numerous subsidiaries have been on a quest to enhance their power, to reduce competition in the Department of Highways approved asphalt market.
A spokesperson for the Department of Transportation thanked Morrisey in a statement for agreeing to assist in the historic suit to, quote, crush the corporate conspiracy that has strangled competition and caused skyrocketing asphalt prices in West Virginia.
European law very clearly states that a member state cannot make it excessively difficult or practically impossible for an aggrieved party to take a competition law action. Well, I think we're the proof that in Ireland it is impossible. You can ask me, why are you in court for 22 years? Why can you not get this resolved? Why are you still out of business, Seamus? I'm out of business because of the relationship of big business and the political parties in Ireland. So we have been now 22 years in court, and we've been subjected to legal procedure after legal procedure after legal procedure, all costing huge money that we don't have and all costing time. It has proved to be impossible to bring a competition law action through the courts. This indeed has been acknowledged by very senior members of the judiciary during the course of the past year.
I want to ask you whether our court system gives citizens justice.
The cost of going to court is a huge deterrent to people.
So it is loaded in favour of the rich?
Yes, it is.
This is an opportunity to tackle the largest company in the state and to say, we are prepared to challenge you, powerful as you are. And CRH is a company which disturbs me. Price fixing, cartel type activities, and all sorts of activities which the Competition Authority would disapprove of and condemn, and indeed would outlaw, have been practiced by CRH. But any effort to get their case to the Competition Authority has been refused or frustrated. Now, why is that?